Hey everybody, we are live from Buddy Bear Car Wash with two MVPs from the No Glove tournament this past weekend. We got Moji right here and we got Joey Iygarto right here. And I think this is going to be fun because we got somebody who won his first and somebody who already had one. So two different experiences winning the tournament. So we're going to start with the newbie. We're going to start with Moj.
Okay.
Now you're having a pretty good year. You won the Papa Hops MVP. You joined Brian Korenkowski as the only two people to ever win a Papa Hops and a No Glove. And I'm not sure if Brian did it in the same year. So you may be the only guy to ever do it in the same year on top of it, which would be a second trivia. So what was it like going through your first time winning a No Glove national championship?
It still doesn't seem real yet. It's been kind of a whirlwind. I mean, every time I think about it, I get a little bit of goosebumps. Everybody plays softball for this tournament, and it's just a spectacular feeling.
Well, it's funny too because, we were all sitting there watching. And the one thing that struck us is and I was sitting by Patty Caputo and some older guys made me feel like I was young. But anyways, we never remembered anybody throwing a 1-0 shutout in either of the championship games, either the first one or the if one. And then on the flip side, Israel only gave up one run.
Yep.
And I tried to tell people if you were there, the defense was excellent on both sides. And you must have had that knuckleball working because a couple of 45s told me afterwards that you were just screwing them all up with that. So, I mean, how did you feel when you were in the middle of that?
Kind of felt like I didn't want to beat a team to lose 1-0. So I just went out there, just tried to have a game plan each inning, and the guys behind me, like Iggy and everybody, they just caught the ball. So they did their job and made my job look a lot easier.
Well, me and you go back, and I've seen you when you get that, when you're locked in and you get that look, and you had that look on the mound. And it was interesting because, I mean, you and Zoe, who were kind of splitting up some of the pitching over the weekend, I mean, both of you at times, gave up some runs and had trouble. But then the other guy would come in and pick the other guy up and do a really good job. And, I was laughing. Somebody said after the first game when you guys won 1-0, who do you think's going to pitch the second game? And I started laughing. I said, they're going to ride Moji till he drops. But so besides, your particular performance, I know the team played well. Is there anybody on the ball club that you thought besides Iggy that had a big part in flashback winning?
Yeah, if I say it was a full team effort, but if you want me to pick out some guys, I would possibly say Vito, our short center. Ryan Russ had a hell of a tournament out and left. Danny Dispenza hit all day. Brian Kearns, who we picked up 2 months ago, played lights out, leading off and catching. So those are some guys that deserved it just as much as me and Iggy.
Well, I'm going to throw Mike Myers in there because he's one of the few guys that was playing when I was running your team, when I was running that team. And that's the funny thing. It was 2012 the last time Flash made it there. So for everybody who's out there and a lot of you kids, when you get an opportunity like these guys did and Flashback did to win an event like that, you got to seize the moment because you never know when you're getting back to that championship game.
I go back to, not to cut you off, Gio, but 2009 we had it there with Jinx and we got double dipped. So I've been trying to get back there ever since. So it took 14 years with a little stop in the middle in 2016 to play in the championship game again. So it took away all of that.
Well, you played well, and it's always better to be the guy doing the double dip and then the other way around. I talked to Chris Lentine after the game, and he was saying, man, this is the second time in like 3 years I've been double dipped. And so he was, a little dejected. He was happy for his brother, who you guys picked up, and 12 first-timers. So you had good company over there.
Yeah, it was nice, very nice for everybody.
Now, Iggy, you weren't a first-timer. No. You've been through it before. And the interesting thing is when Dynasty did it, a lot of people thought it was a fluke. Now, after you guys won it, you guys made back-to-back appearances a couple years after that in the championship game, and of course, Dynasty from that point forward had really become one of our better major teams. And I remember talking to a couple of your guys on the team afterwards, the day after, and they were all like, yeah, you know, they were getting aggravated because they were like, yeah, some people are saying it's a fluke. And I told them, dude, you guys are going to be on the back of the sweatshirt forever now, where they list all the winners, so they couldn't take it away. And by the way, you slapped our Mudville team that year, which I wasn't too happy about.
Sorry about that.
On Thursday night. Well, you know, I thought my guys kind of wet the bed a little bit, but then you guys came out the next day, you slapped OBI, and you guys just never looked back. So it was no fluke, and I felt better about it after the tournament. But you know, I was fortunate. I was with Flashback. We won 3 of these, and they're all different. So how is this one different from the one you won with Dynasty?
The one with Dynasty was a little bit different because it was our second year together out of the Park League together as friends, and we started that tournament, we didn't look back, we didn't lose one game. This one, a little bit different because we had to come out of the loser's bracket after losing the BTA, and to play 6 games on Sunday and then double dipping 45s. I mean, I have so much respect for the 45 guys and their players and their coaches. So beating them, they beat me 3 years in a row and got me second place. So it felt good to get a little payback on them, but that's, you know, tip of the cap to them. They're always there. It's very fortunate for us to beat them the way that we did, and it was just so special.
Now, your first year with Flashback, what was your thoughts on being on Flashback overall this year? You know, coming to a new team and, you know, playing with some guys that maybe you didn't have a chance to play, having a guy like Gibbs and Junior running the team. How much of a difference was that versus, say, that playing with Dynasty?
There was a little bit of a difference, not crazy amount, but I mean, both teams are set with nothing but great guys. I mean, great players, great guys off and on the field. Started in the Dome with Flash. I started getting welcomed right away from the guys. They're, again, nothing but great guys. So getting welcomed like that was great. And then making the transition, of course, with some, you know, guys, you know, ball busting and everything. But, you know, that's a part of softball when you make decisions like that and stuff. But no, I absolutely love the Dynasty guys. They're my best friends. I still hang out with them to this day. And the Flash guys, I'm fortunate to make friendships with these guys often on the field with these guys because they're just as special. So.
Yeah, Gibbs and Junior, even back when I was there, when I first started managing them, one of the reasons I went there is because I thought they played the game the right way, but more importantly, they were always a close-knit group. Yeah. They're very protective in the sense that they don't want to bring in a guy who's going to be excessively high maintenance or is going to disrupt things. And you know, you're certainly not that type of a player. Moji's not that type of a player. Vito doesn't look like he's that. I mean, and then I'm going to ask you both now. I talked to a couple of Flash guys after you guys won, and a couple of them said the same thing. They had nothing but praise for Brian Kearns and felt like Gibbs finding him not on the roster kind of late in the year after Pat Dillon you know, took off to do his Navy SEAL thing, that they all kind of said they think Brian Kearns might have helped save your season.
Yeah, to be honest, he might have, because in the beginning, I remember in the beginning, Moj, I don't know if you do, but Kearns didn't think he was going to play a lot with us. And we all had to, you know, pretty much convince him, saying, Brian, you're going to play a little bit more than you think. Guy ends up being leadoff hitter at Forest Park, you know, and does what he does. And again, like Moji said, anyone could have won MVP this tournament. If there was a team MVP, it should have been for the whole Flash team because everyone absolutely did their job and more. So,
yeah, I agree with that. You know, I think unfortunately, and I'm going to strike that because it was beginning to sound bad. You two guys were certainly worthy MVP candidates, but I always thought sometimes the problem with any tournament is they focus on the last game or two. Yeah. They don't really realize what's going on for 3 days. And in your case with Flashback, you guys played all those games. And I'm sure that just about every game, you guys probably could have pointed to somebody and said, he was our best player today, this game, he was our best player. So the MVPs are very, very difficult to choose. But, I think the two of you were deserving. Certainly you guys had a lot of candidates. And, it's something that you guys should be proud of.
Very proud, very proud.
Okay, so 2 MVPs, Flashback, we got Iggy, and we got Moji. So we're going heavy nicknames on you. We hope you enjoyed the interview. We're going to have one with Jeff Hernandez, the manager. Hopefully we're going to sit down and tape that later this week. So we hope you enjoyed it.